This week on Music Worth Buying, we're going to be checking out Plectrum Electrum by Prince and Third Eye Girl.
And Neil Young's Storytone.
Hello everybody, and welcome to yet another episode of Music Worth Buying. My name's TJR. I'm a musician and a music writer.
And my name is Robert Kinsler, and I am a music writer and a musician.
Absolutely. And so, we both got albums that we are both excited about. Neither of us has heard the others, I don't think. We'll find out real quickly here. And I'm going to start off recently, a few weeks ago. Prince released two albums simultaneously. One of them was a solo album called Artificial, and the second was a collaboration with a three-piece band called Third Eye Girl, with Prince inserting himself into the band as making it now a four-piece. Mm-hmm. And just a little bit of background real quick here, and I should hold up the cover here for you right here, or maybe I should hold it up like this, or perhaps I should hold it up like this, actually. We'll get into that in a moment. Yeah. But Third Eye Girl is guitarist Donna Grantis, bassist Ida Nelson, and drummer Hannah Ford. And they all have backgrounds and degrees in rock and jazz, so they know how to play. Mm-hmm. And Prince certainly knows how to play too, as we all know, and he's playing guitar on this album. He's one of the guitar players, I should say. Now, I don't know how long they spent recording the album, but the first thing I want to mention, before you listen to it, before we play anything here, this album was recorded live, okay? Not so with the solo album, but this one here was recorded live. If a mistake was made, they just stopped and started over again. Mm-hmm. And more and more, we're seeing artists do this with with contemporary recordings. John Mellencamp with his, not his most recent album, but the one prior to that, No Better Than This was recorded live. With I think like one microphone in the room or something like that.
One microphone in the room,
and I know there's been a couple of other artists who've recently kind of gone that route, where they've just gone, let's just do it live. Let's just be, either be good or don't do it. And I'm really pleased that Prince chose to do this. What really comes out as a result of this is just how much fun this album is. The other thing is it puts Prince behind the guitar and has him playing guitar. I love it when Prince plays guitar. I know I'm a guitarist. I know I have this bias, but Prince to me just does not play guitar enough. And so I'm really thrilled with this album because he's playing guitar on every song, and I get to hear him play guitar, which I love. Some critics are kind of dismissing, I don't want to say dismissing, but they're saying, Artificial is, that's they're saying that's the great one. This one's just kind of looking at like a side thing. And I've heard Artificial, I think it's good, but me personally, I'm really digging this album. I'm just really digging the spontaneity of it, just the immediateness of it. Lyrically, I think it's dealing with a lot of... The lyrics go from just being fun to really dealing with serious issues. It goes back and forth. But this is just, Prince and this band, because they're part of this too. They're writing these songs together. It's all four of them, of course. And not just Prince, but it's all four of them. And it's just great to hear this just rocking out. And like I said, doing like it was in the old days when the Beatles would record their album in a day in the early songs, or when the Doors would record L.A. Woman in a week? Something like that.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, something like that. So anyway, but let's go ahead. I've said enough. Let's listen to a track. This is the opening track. It's called Wow, and that's what I felt when I heard it. Here we go.
Like a bee to some honey, moth to a flame. Got an addiction and you got me to blame. You never saw it coming, 'cause I made no claims till now. You can call it the unexpected, or you can call it wow.
That's my first time hearing any of this album, and I'm very impressed by it. I have to tell you that when I first heard it, at least musically, you know, there's elements of psychedelic.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and they're all over the
Which
place.
has been something that's occurred in Prince.
Yeah, it has. And but yet, because I think his soulful vocals is kind of like the R&B vocal, it makes it sound very. He's able to make it sound pretty contemporary.
Yeah.
You know, so and that's you know, and it really is working here.
Yeah,
you know, I would definitely want to hear it more. Yeah.
It's very. I think the songs are just incredibly catchy and fun. This song is very fun, in my opinion. On this track, Prince is doing the lead vocal. He's not the only lead vocalist on this album. The other girls do lead vocals too. So, you know, it really is. It's you know, Prince and Third Eyed Girl. It really is a collaboration between the two of them. You know, this 3-piece band and him. And so, make no mistake about that. Yeah, and there are pop and funk elements, which, of course, Prince is, of course, known for. But I think this is the most we've heard him rocking out on a single album, you know, in quite a while. You know, as far as just rocking out, keeping it real raw and basic, 2 guitars, bass, and drums.
Yeah.
Really, and that's it. I don't know if there's, as I've listened to the album, I don't think I've heard any keyboards anywhere. I don't know if anybody else is doing some keyboards. There are a few guest stars here and there, so maybe there's a few extra, you know, there's a couple, there's one guest vocalist I can think of that's on there, but by and large, this is just the 4 of them, you know, and if anybody was guesting with them, they were alive too.
Yeah.
You know,
great.
So I don't think they were dubbed in after the fact. So anyways, packaging wise, this does come in the, of course, what I refer to as the mini vinyl gatefold. Of course, when you see it in the stores, it's going to look like this, but just the fact that it's been framed this way, you know, you're just tempted to open it like this. It almost feels like it's a different format, but it's really not, of course. It's just like this. And here's the interior right here. And it does come with, I think, a very good booklet. Here's the front. Here is the back. And lyrics are very easy to read. Of course, they're in that Prince style of writing where you use the number 4 instead of the word 4. You use the letter U instead of Y-O-U. You know, Prince originated the language of texting. Yeah. He really did. Before anybody, before we were all texting each other, he originated that whole type of language, you know, for you, you know, the heart symbol instead of love. At least I think he did. I don't know. Maybe I'm giving, maybe he shouldn't deserve credit for that, but as far as I know, he did. Maybe someone will correct me on that. But the lyrics are all there, very easy to read. It's a graphically nice booklet. I think it looks good. In fact, I even want to show you, for the camera here, I want to show you guys just the actual CD.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
I like that too. It's very cool looking, I think.
Very cool looking.
And so there we go. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to check out another track. This is called Fix Up Your Life. Here we go.
In America you might fare better. In London you're sure to be toast. You always get the dream that you deserve from what you value the most. You need to fix your life up.
And so, quick correction, the title of the track was Fix Your Life Up.
Okay.
Not Fix Up Your Life.
Right.
I know there'll be at least a few trolls out there who are like ready to correct. Oh, you got it wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
How dare you?
Mistakes happen, right?
Yeah. Anyway, but there we go. Another just really catchy song.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
Those 2 tracks we've played are much more rocked out. There are some more poppier sounding tracks. There are some of the more funkier sounding tracks. But overall, once again, this is the most rocked out I've heard him in a while. And I'm not knocking the other album. I just think this album really deserves a bit more attention. I'm surprised at all the critics that when they checking out the 2 albums, they're kind of almost dismissing this one as just sort of like the little side thing. And I just think it's really cool that he did this live, and that it sounds as good as it does. It feels the way it does. It just has this immediate emotion, the way it grabs you. And I think they also said they recorded on analog equipment, and if so, that shows too in just how it feels. Yeah, the way it just seems to grab you, and you just immediately start rocking or grooving to it.
Yeah, and obviously it was recorded live. It's really amazing just how locked in they are, and just how rich those just a great recording.
Well, they can do it because none of them are slouches.
Yeah, they're really good. Yeah,
none of them are slouches.
Comes through.
And personally, I hope he does another one of these. If not with Third Eye Girl, with someone else. I just hope he does this again.
Yeah, well, great. Yeah, well, that's very cool.
So,
well, I brought in something in. Neil Young's had a very long and distinguished career, and arguably he's maybe the world's greatest living rock and roll songwriter. I mean, Paul McCartney, Bob Dylan, Neil Young, they're definitely on that magic hand there of great legendary songwriters. His new album, Storytone, is actually his first ever album where it's basically the full thing is him performing with an orchestra, and it's quite a departure from maybe some of his last few albums and that kind of thing. He's I think he's exploring a lot of ground here. I mean, there's political songs, there's confessional songs, love songs. He's kind of all over the place, but there is a uniformity when you listen to the album, just how it kind of works together, and just and I'm still exploring this album. I think it's one of those albums that's going to take a while for me to even get the full thing, but just after living with it for about a week or so, I'm very, very much in love with this album, and I think it's, I'm such a huge fan of Neil Young. Maybe it's hard to be objective at this point, but it's great to hear, Neil Young after this many decades continuing to kind of push himself, kind of like what we said recently with Robert Plant, an artist that's not content to rest on his laurels and do the same old, same old. I mean, it's just great album.
And I think, just real quick, just to go back, I think Prince was pushing himself to do it this way, to do it live.
I think Prince is I think
pushing himself to do it live.
There's certain artists that refuse to become nostalgic acts, and we're all the beneficiaries of them refusing to become, nostalgic acts.
Exactly.
And Neil Young is definitely kind of at the head of that class. And let's listen to the, on this album, and unfortunately we can only play part of a couple tracks, but there's everything from kind of these symphonic, very beautiful songs to kind of blues and big band music. I mean, it's kind of all over the place, yet it's all kind of highlighted by him performing with these great musicians behind him and these interesting arrangements. But let's listen to the first song of Storytone, and this is called Plastic Flowers.
Okay.
But it lasted quite a while. I got my promises made, but before the timeless Father, I showed plastic flowers to Mother Nature's daughter.
You know what the first thing I thought of as I listened to that first track, which, by the way, sounds absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
If you remember, if you listen to, and of course, who doesn't remember Harvest?
Yeah, right, exactly.
There's a World.
Yeah.
The track There's a World, where you hear Neil Young is just on the piano, and there's this orchestra that comes in, and if you ever wondered what I've only gone on this one track, I haven't heard the whole album yet. You have, but from this one track, I would say, well, if you ever wanted to hear what a whole album would have been like, had Neil Young done a whole album with just like on There's a World off of Harvest, it would sound like
now
this.
We have that. That's what I thought of too. That's the closest thing from all of his rich catalog, stretching back almost 50 years or whatever. That you do kind of think Harvest when you hear this album. At least these songs, like this song, and I think the other song that I really like, Glimmer, a very beautiful song where his. And obviously he's older now. His tenor is a little bit more fragile. There's times where it almost cracks, but it's beautiful when it cracks. I mean, I know there's some people that they can't get past Neil Young's voice. I love his voice. I always have.
There were people who couldn't get past his voice back in the 70s.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I remember, and I won't say their name and give them any credence, but they had a whole morning talk show, and they're making fun of Neil Young's voice. It's like, are you guys crazy? Long after people forget about your vocals, are going to be still talking and listening to Neil Young.
Yeah,
but that's another story.
Yeah.
But Neil Young, he's great, and this album, it's another masterwork from him, in a career that's had so many masterworks, going back to Harvest, and but we don't have the physical album yet, but it apparently does come as a deluxe edition where all these songs, including Plastic Flowers, you get to hear them with an orchestra or a big band, and then you get to hear him do them solo as well. Yeah, so he does basically, it's the album twice. So if you want the more sparse, more direct and stripped down Neil Young, you can get that, or if you want to see these lush, more fully realized versions, you get to hear that too, like what we're hearing a little bit of here.
Neil Young is no stranger to performing having done some albums live in one take.
Oh yeah,
He's no stranger to that. I wonder if he's done that with this album.
You know, I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know. Yeah, I don't.
Maybe we'll check after. Maybe we can find out after during the next break. But we'll see. But yeah, I'm just kind of wondering. I could imagine it being done that way because it is a symphony orchestra. They're going to have sheet music in front of them. They're used to doing that.
Yeah, yeah.
And so is Neil Young.
Yeah, exactly. I know in the past, I recall, and it was in either an interview or something, where basically when he would record, at least with Crazy Horse, if they'd go in to do a song, if they didn't get it right by the third take, he was basically like, you know what, we're going to lose the emotion and stuff. Let's put it down, and we're not going to do it today or something. I think that is his approach to get to the heart of these songs, because I'm sure they're created him at a piano, him at a guitar. Yeah. And that's, to me, when I listen to his album, you're listening. You know, it's the closest thing to the emotion that where he's at. Yeah. You know, and those songs get there. Yeah. You know, that's part of why I think his songs are so significant. Whether, you know, and why other people can do those songs and they also have that kind of power to them as well. They're just great songs. Yeah. You know, now, like I said, some of these songs are done with this 92-piece orchestra, and some of them are done with a big band. So what I thought we'd do is do this next song, which is "Say Hello to Chicago," which is a great. You know, the other side of what he's doing on Storytone. Okay. So let's listen to a little bit of that one.
I'm curious. Okay.
When the blues moved north to Chicago they came, and I caught some myself in this blind alley in rain, close to the L with its clattering train, near an ornate theater where I soon will be playing.
During the break, of course, we listened to that. We listened to the orchestral version, of course, which were
with the big band.
What you just heard.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then we also took a moment and we listened to the solo version, and which was just him on the piano. Yeah. He obviously had one of those harmonica holders there for him, so he could play harmonica. He played harmonica, he played the piano, and then he sang. And it was just him solo. And the second version of the album, the solo version, is just him solo, nobody else, if I'm not mistaken.
Right, the same song, same track listing, just solo versus band / symphonic orchestra,
Totally different feels, the swing orchestra version versus the solo version of him on piano. Both great sounding. If this solo version is any indication, you're going to want to get the deluxe edition and hear all the solo versions, because it's too... They're both great. Yeah, and you're going to enjoy them for different reasons. I'm guessing that was Neil Young on guitar on the big band version. I'm guessing.
I don't have the backup information.
But because we don't have a copy of the album yet. It's not out as we record this, so we can't show you a physical copy, or nor can we refer to the notes. But I'm assuming it is. I'm guessing that's him on guitar.
It's funny. It's like we mentioned Harvest earlier. It's almost like this is a fusion of Harvest versus Neil Young and the Blue Notes. You know, his blues
album.
His blues album. And it's like he's exploring the blues here. You know, we're talking here about the music. You know, like maybe his love of kind of things symphonic and stuff like that. And yet it's all kind of thrown in there. And it's very you know. It works well together. It's not like it's a mishmash or anything like that. It's the exact opposite. This is very much of an album that stands very strong on its own, and is another great Neil Young album.
Yeah, after these two songs, I'm a big Neil Young fan too. I would go listen to it anyways, irregardless. You know, Neil Young's at that point with me where like, I'm interested even in what I consider his missteps. Even what doesn't maybe grab me, I still want to hear it because I want to know what he did. Yeah, exactly. You know, at this point, even if it's not my favorite. Yeah. But just based on those two tracks, or maybe I should say three, the alternate version.
I mean, you think about some of his albums through time. Yeah. Like let's say American Stars and Bars, where maybe the album is not like held up there like Harvest or something, but yet. Like a Hurricane is considered one of his all-time great rock songs. I mean, you know, so I mean, every time Neil Young issues an album, you know, there's probably going to be some magic that you're going to encounter along the way, without a doubt.
Yeah, I don't know why anybody would then get just the standard edition with just the orchestral versions, because Neil Young only has hardcore fans. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he has. I mean, there might be some casual fans that only want to maybe go to a concert so they can drink and hear and yell out, "Play Old Man, Neil, play Old Man."
Yeah, or Heart of Gold or something.
Yeah, play Heart of Gold. And you know, maybe a few of those casual fans, but not a whole lot of them.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, this album, you know, I put it in, I go, oh, this sounds promising with the orchestra and the big band and stuff. But then it's at the heart of it with Neil Young, and this has always been the case. It's the songs and how they speak to you.
Yeah.
And he continues, to be able to do that. I mean, it's such a gift,
Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I can't wait to hear this whole album.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
I don't
Just
think you're
based
going to
on
be
that, I can't
disappointed.
wait.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Okay, well, cool. Well, glad. Thank you for bringing that in, even though we don't physically have it yet. It's not out yet, but it will be by the time this broadcast.
Prince album too. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Glad you liked it. And so, once again, we thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe if you haven't done it. Thank you to everybody who has shared our show on Facebook and Twitter. We appreciate it every time you do it. It means an awful lot. It helps us a great deal. Help us spread the word. And once again, under show more info here on YouTube, you can link to the blog, which will link to Amazon, where you can check out more audio samples, purchase the music physically or digitally, and show your support for everybody involved in bringing the music to you. And until next time, my name's TJR. You can check out my music at tjrmusic.com, where you can sign up for my mailing list for my own music that I record and release. And you can check out my solo reviews here at the channel, YouTube, Music Worth Buying. And tell me about yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to know about you.
There we go. You can read more of my stuff at more of my work.
Yes, your work, exactly.
At ocregister.com,
Yes.
and of course at musicworthbuying.com,
And
musicnewsnashville.com, and desertstarweekly.com.
Yeah, you spread yourself so richly over our earth.
And so thin, right?
Yeah, you're the writing machine.
Yeah, I am.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
See you next time, everybody. Take care.
Hey, see you later. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.